Today's video is going to be about some airsoft anecdotes, some crazy stories, funny stories, whatever, that have happened to me over the years. I hope you enjoy them and you get a kick out of them. I was thinking about this story today, and it's an interesting one. When I was looking through some old pictures that I was like putting on the website, and it was at a field that's, sorry to say, closed now down in New Jersey. It's called Cookies Chaos. And they had a game called Chem Wars, and there was three factions. It was green and tan, and they were NATO and Russian forces or whatever. And there was this small cadre of black uniform police officers, and that's what our team and another team, Outer Heaven, was. So between the pair of us, we had about 18 people. So our location was the police house, this like set of buildings right in the center of the field. And all the teams had to go back and forth across us when getting objectives. And the whole idea was they could pay us off. They could pay us for going across our territory. They could bribe us with money, drugs, or porn. They actually have little CDs with porn pictures on them. It was funny. And they could hire us to escort them, help them out, whatever. Now, during the day, we had done a lot of that. We got bribed and stuff back and forth. But the event organizers let us know that Green Team was just overrunning Brown. They were getting all the stuff. They were getting way ahead. It was sort of lopsided. So they said, harass the Green Team. So the Green Team asked to go through at our location, and we say, yeah, that's okay. We'll give you an escort, 6 guys. So as we're leaving, my squad CO says to me, take them out. So we're flanking the three. In this particular group, there was 8 people. And they had a bunch of the drugs from the chem war they had raided a lab. So they're in the center, and we're 3 on each side. I'm in the back left-hand side. So of the 3 and 3, I was back left-hand side. So my guys are all looking back like this. They keep looking back at me to see what, and I go, and I have a 30 caliber. Okay, it only shoots about 11 rounds per second, and it shoots kind of low, but I was able to take out like 4 of them right away, and the other guys here shot and killed the rest of them. So we took their stuff. They're pissed off too that we did this, but we took their stuff and brought it back to the police station. Now, being the smart people that we were, we had jail cells where we could arrest people. And that was another thing we could do. We could ask for your papers, your identification, and each person was issued a card, either a green card with a number on it or a tan card with a number on it. If you didn't have that, you lost it or can't find it, we could arrest you because you didn't have identification. Then you have to sit in jail for 15 minutes, which was a pain in the ass because a couple of guys got nailed like that and we kept them in jail. But what we did is we took all our contraband and we hid it all around the station. But we put a pile of the crap stuff that wasn't worth a lot of points in the jail cell so that if they came and tried to kill us, which they could do, either team, they'd have to look around for our stuff. So Green caught on to us being, like taking out their guys, questioning people, shooting them, when they didn't have ID instead of arresting them, things like this. It was really getting annoying. So Green mounted a defense and took us out. But their strategy was good on how they took us out. They sort of attacked from 2 locations. They overwhelmed us, but they killed us all. So the ref's there. And the green guy is saying to our guys and to me, where's the stuff? We can't find none of the stuff. I know you got it. I say, we're dead. We can't tell you nothing. And the guy on the green team's raising hell with us. Oh, this is bullshit. They should tell us where their stuff is. And the ref said, if you would have kept one of them alive, you could have questioned him. He would have to tell you where the stuff is. They didn't tell him. So If they had kept one of us alive, it would have worked out. But Tan was hauling some stuff across. We gave him free passage with, without like asking for drugs or money or porn. And they got ambushed. And we heard the ambush, so we took a small force of like 8 guys up there, and we wiped out the green team that had got their stuff and brought back to our location. So we had all kind of drugs that like points, and we had like all kind of information like money, things like that. We had got so much stuff. Tan never come over to ask us about it, so the ref said you're not supposed to tell them you got it unless they ask about it. If they come over and they say, "Hey, do you have any drugs?" Barter for it and give it to them. And I'm like, okay. So Tan was trying to get up this roadway, dirt road, and they couldn't. They were just getting wiped out. They couldn't get up the road. They couldn't sweep on the sides. It was just horrible. And the objective they wanted to get to was on the top of the hill. And so they hired us to go up there. And the whole thing about this was that we had riot shields, homemade riot shields that we were using to move. And I'm going to stop right here and throw a couple of pictures. Up there, and we're behind the shields, a couple of us. We also were using them in the woods and to help defend like different things. At the beginning, we're helping the green team. At the end, we're helping the tan team. But we'd actually go to an area where they couldn't get through, and there'd be 3 or 4 of us with shields, and we'd walk up with the guys behind us so they could take the people out. So the whole thing with this going up the road, though, the one picture shows, like there's a couple pictures that's showing us going up the road. We had these shields, and we're going up, and I had a 30 caliber, and there was a guy with a sniper rifle, a whole bunch of stuff, and we're moving up, and we're taking the guys out on the side, and we kept moving up, moving up, moving up, moving up, and we got quite a ways. Then there was this team that was there that was not calling it. Everybody was bitching about them, but I'm like, whatever, I don't care. This guy runs up, and we're shooting him. And the reason I know we're shooting him is I was shooting him, and 2 other people were shooting him, and we just kept shooting him, and he ran up, and he threw a grenade, and it landed like, it hit the one guy on the side of the shoulder and down in front of him, and boom, And I remember a couple of guys on the team, the ref come up and he says, "Oh, you're all dead." And I'm like, the guy that threw it, we shot him a dozen times before he even got to us. But we'll take it. So we walked back. I said, "We'll take it if you call him out." And the ref said, "Okay." And he walked over to this guy and he says, "You're out too." And the guy said, "Oh, well, why?" He said, "I killed them guys." He said, "They shot you before you did it. They're taking the hit, but you're out too. Go back to spawn." "Oh, I'll get a medic." He said, No. Back to spawn. When the guy's pissed off because he had to walk all the way back to spawn. So I remember that day, like doing that and walking behind those shields, and they were like solid pieces of plywood with a little piece of plexiglass on in the front and 2 big metal handles. And basically, the guys walking with them didn't do anything. They just put their arm through and held it up. And if they knew better, and every once in a while we'd stop, put them down, and they were tall enough that you could get down behind them and get people behind you and do a really good job with it. Chem Wars was a fantastic game. At the end of the game, though, one of the objectives was to kill a police officer and take his badge. We were corrupt anyway, so it really didn't matter. Now, they got the point where they have to kill a police officer, and they didn't, when they destroyed our camp, and he actually even killed us out in the field, the refs told us, don't volunteer to give them anything. They have to ask you for your badge, for your ID. No one asked us for our badges or IDs. So they didn't get those particular points. They're saying to the refs, "We killed the guys, we killed the guys." You didn't get no points for that. They didn't realize, they didn't read the briefing that if you kill a police officer, you have to ask for his badge or ask for his ID. There was 2 things they could get. They can only take one, but there's two things they could get off us. So if somebody took my badge, the next time somebody could take my ID, and then I was done. Uh, no one took my badge. I still have the original badge. So I hope you enjoyed this story. It was a lot of fun playing that game, and I'm so sorry that that field is closed up now because there was a hell of a lot of good games down there at that field. As always, you guys have a good day.